Good morning. It's Toni Ross. Happy Wednesday. We are getting there. You know, we're getting closer and closer to the big day, and maybe that makes you a little more stressed, but let's just, make our list. Check it twice. Do what we can do. We can only do so much. So hopefully you can enjoy the next couple of days. Hopefully you do have some days off, but yes, this is crunch time. But we'll keep you covered with all of the music and some feel-good stories. There was a dog at the Lakers game when they were hosting the Knicks, and this dog took over, got all the attention. They really stole the show. Brody, the golden doodle. We'll get to that story a little later on this hour. Your full forecast, what it looks like for Christmas. We'll get to that in just a few songs. Honeymoon Suite now, I Believe in Father Christmas on Fresh Radio. Carly Rae Jepsen and Let It Snow on 103.1 Fresh Radio. Will it snow for the big day? It's probably not going to be a white Christmas. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but here we go. 3 degrees with sunshine today, Thursday, which is tomorrow, Tony. Yes, tomorrow is Thursday. 3 degrees with sunshine. 2 on Friday. It does look like we could see a little rain, snow mixture into the evening on Friday. Saturday, we're going to see some rain. Looking at Christmas Eve on Sunday, 7 degrees. So yes, it is warmer. And then Monday, Christmas Day, 9 degrees with sunshine. Boxing Day, we're going to see 10 degrees and rain. It's Wednesday looks like it's the day that things are going to start to drop and we're going to start to see more snow. But here, silver lining for the folks that want that white Christmas. Now you can go for a family walk before or after your big meal and not be impeded by ice on the sidewalks. If you're traveling, big travel day, couple of days coming up, the roads should be in good condition. So that's a silver lining. Will we have a white Christmas this year? Doesn't look that way, but hey, you never know. Maybe something will change in the next few days. Hopefully not, though. It's Pentatonics. That's Christmas to me on Fresh Radio. I don't mind watching sports. There's some, I'm not like someone that's going to lock into an entire game, but if there is a giant dog that is sitting courtside of a basketball game, you best believe I will watch that game to see how much camera time this dog gets. And that's what happened with the golden doodle named Brody at the Lakers game. We'll get to his story on the way. It's Band-Aid, and do they know it's Christmas on Fresh Radio? London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. At the basketball games, like the NBA games where courtside, it's like the celebrities. Like in this picture, I see Kevin Bacon, Kira Sedgwick. Yes, that's how you say her name. And then right beside them, who stole the show, we got Brody, the golden doodle, who has 1 million followers on Instagram, 6.6 million followers on TikTok. And then that's just to name some of the numbers there. But Brody was wearing a jersey, sitting on, I believe, his friend/owner's lap. He's huge. Like, he is massive, and he's doing little dance moves, and he's got, like, this beautiful, like, golden hair. It really was the star of this game, to be quite honest. They actually awarded Brody the fan of the game, and everyone in the crowd was loving it because Brody kept making his way on camera, and people were just like, oh, there's a dog. It's so cool and cute. And it's just like, that's the kind of basketball game that now. If you are looking at the calendar for tonight and you're like, you know what? I want to do something. I want to get out. Well, don't forget about Budweiser Gardens tonight. It is a Christmas rock story. It is like circus meets music and rock music, obviously, rock story. So if you are looking to do something to get out, this is going to be fantastic. They've got aerialists, acrobats, very, very fun for the night. So again, that is in town tonight at Budweiser Gardens. And I did check. There are still a few tickets left. So you might as well try and get in on it. It definitely will be a show you don't want to miss. Budweiser Gardens, a Christmas rock story tonight. It's Elvis and Blue Christmas on Fresh. Have you ever really thought about Santa's reindeers' names? Santa's reindeers' names. Yes, that's how I want to say it. Like just thinking about like on Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, and Vixen, Comet, and Cupid, and Donner, and Blitz. Like we know the names, but why were they named that way? The origins of the names and also some of the definitions of what their names are kind of a little weird for Santa. So we will break that down coming up in a bit. Thanks to Merriam-Webster, by the way. We'll get to that in just a few songs. It's, oh my gosh, one of my favorite Christmas songs, which is weird to say. It's the Trans-Siberian Orchestra with Christmas Eve, Sarajevo on Fresh.
Okay, fine. Just another drink then.
Well, that took a lot of convincing.
London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. Merriam-Webster has got people confused now. They were talking about Santa's reindeers and the names and the origins, and they kind of broke it down, and it left us with some questions. First of all, there's Dasher and Dancer and Prancer. So Dasher means the one that dashes, Dancer, the one that dances, and Prance, ones that walks or moves in a spirited manner. So those three made sense. But the confusion kind of came in when we got to Vixen. Some of the definitions for Vixen in the dictionary: 1, a female fox. 2, a shrewish, ill-tempered woman. And 3 for Vixen was a sexually attractive woman. So questionable why Vixen was chosen, but okay, let's not ruin it all. And then we also came to, okay, Comet, that makes sense. They both fly. Sure, why not? And then Cupid, kind of random again, because Cupid is the Roman god of erotic love. So maybe they were just looking for names. And then this I didn't know, Donner and Blitzen. Names are based on the Dutch words thunder and lightning, which is pretty cool. So that makes sense. So what is it said? Oh, Merriam-Webster wrote, we've always thought these two were the bad boys of the sleigh. Like, way to take something so innocent like reindeer names and just make it weird and confusing. But hey, most of the names make sense. We still have some question marks on a couple. It's Johnny Reed on Fresh Radio. Cassie Campbell is leaving Sportsnet for something amazing, as she is definitely the one for the role, as there is a new league that is launching soon. We'll get to the details about her new role coming up. Right now, it's Payolas on 103.1 Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. It was announced that Cassie Campbell Pascal is stepping away from Sportsnet and Hockey Night in Canada to take a newly formed position in the new Professional Women's Hockey League. She will be a special advisor. She said the opportunity to join the PWHL and continue to have an impact on the women's game was one that I absolutely had to accept. I'm extremely pleased to take an active advisory role in the advancement of a top pro league that is full of promise. So right now there are 6 teams in this league. You got Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Boston, New York, and Minnesota. The inaugural season for the league is a 24-game schedule, with the first game to be played with New York visiting Toronto on January 1st. That's exciting. But she did say it's a bittersweet night. That's what her co-host said. It was a bittersweet night, but they're obviously excited for this new role. So Cassie Campbell Pascal moving on to be an advisor in the new league, the Professional Women's Hockey League. And you know what? Great person. Great choice to have that advisor role. It's Megan Smith. It snowed on 103.1 Fresh Radio. Sven and his snowy surprises. That is what is happening with Fresh Mornings this week. You remember Sven? He was our little mountain climber. He'd go find you some cash. Well, now there's been a big snowstorm and he's shoveling. He's helping us out, but we need you to tell him when to stop. And when you do tell him, there is a prize that will be revealed that could be yours. So make sure you tune in tomorrow morning with Fresh Mornings. Listen for that cue to call to play Sven's snowy surprise. It's Luke McMaster on Fresh Radio. Guy Fieri is making headlines because he said his kids are not going to see any of his money unless they do their own work. We'll get to that and more coming up in Trending Now in just a couple songs. Bryan Adams, it's Run, Rudolph, Run on 103.1 Fresh Radio. For me. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. It is time to look at what is trending now. Guy Fieri, who recently signed a $100 million deal with the Food Network, is saying that his kids are not going to see any of his money unless they work for it. Essentially, he's taken a line from Shaq where it's like, if you want the cheese, come back with 2 degrees. Essentially, he doesn't want them to think, oh, okay, yeah, we got it made. Our dad made a lot of money, so we're going to have it. He said, I told them the same thing my dad told me. When I die, you can expect that I'm going to die broke and you're going to be paying for the funeral. And I told my boys, none of this that I've been building are you going to get unless you come and take it from me. So his kids have got some work to do. He also takes care of his nephew after his sister passed away in 2011. And the nephew is taking that to heart. He is in a law program. He wants to be like an LA agent, and he knows that he needs a law degree to do that. Speaking of LA and the fanciness of the world, Jason Oppenheim from the Oppenheim Group, aka from Selling Sunset, has taken on a questionable client, Kanye West. West, yes, is selling his Malibu mansion for $53 million. He bought it 2 years ago for $57 million, gutted the place, and now wants to sell it. Now, Jason's saying, they reduced the price because, the person's whoever buys it's going to have to put a lot of the furnishings into it. But this is an opportunity where you can put all the modifications and all the things you want your way. I don't know. Is this going to be on the next season of Selling Sunset? I could probably see it because the feuds that they got going on in their storyline need a little bit of an update. Celine Dion's sister has been giving updates, and she had a recent heartbreaking update. She said that Celine Dion doesn't have control over her muscles and certain body movements. Now, the ultimate goal for Celine Dion was to return to the stage, but in what capacity, they do not know. This all has to do with the symptoms of the stiff person syndrome, which Celine Dion was diagnosed with not too long ago. I'm Just Ken, one of the songs on the Barbie soundtrack, has got a few remixes in the world now, and I am really digging the video for the holiday remix. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few songs. That is trending now on 103.1 Fresh Radio. Ryan Gosling played the perfect Ken in Barbie, but man, can this guy sing. He did I'm Just Ken, which was a Billboard Hot 100 hit, and obviously on the soundtrack for Barbie. Well, it's got a little remix to it. So with Mark Ronson, and they did, I think, a couple of versions, but the holiday one they released the video for, and what a video it is. We will talk a little more about that coming up. Right now, it's Christmas time is here on Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. Barbie, huge movie of 2023. Great soundtrack. You even had Ryan Gosling, aka Ken, singing the hit I'm Just Ken. I love the song, but I like that him and Mark Ronson worked on a remix. Actually, I think a couple of them, but they released the video for the holiday remix. They're in the studio. They're getting ready to record. I didn't know what to expect from it, but something about Ryan Gosling just kind of like making his way to that microphone and his powerful vocals and his t-shirt just hugging those biceps just the right amount. It was a good video, but I mean, you can't see that, so I will try and share it on Facebook. You can check that out online. But here is part of the video. Essentially, they start with kind of razzing each other a wee bit, then they get to the goods.
He wore the statement necklace, I did my hair, and you did pajamas.
Where are the glasses?
Right here. I'm gonna get into character.
There we go.
Because the world can have Ken's voice, but only Barbie can have his eyes.
Barbie can have his eyes. Such a sweet sound. Maybe we can add it to our Christmas library. All right, get it, Ken.
Doesn't seem to matter what I do. Always a number two. No one knows how hard I try. 'Cause I'm just kidding. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. Is it my destiny to live and die a life of fun fragility? I'm just kidding.
All right, I have to cut it off there, but it is a fantastic song. I'm going to try and find the video because it is a must watch. I'm Just Ken has an EP out thanks to Mark Ronson and Ryan Gosling. Sleigh Ride now on Fresh Radio. New Year's Eve right around the corner, and if you don't have plans yet, don't forget the City of London is hosting the free New Year's Eve bash in Victoria Park presented by WSIB. There are 2 dazzling firework displays. One's going to happen at 9 p.m. and another at midnight. There's going to be performances from London's hottest musicians, free outdoor skating and hot chocolate, and much more. So if you are looking for something to do to celebrate the new year, Victoria Park, there is a free event for you. It's Toni Bennett and Winter Wonderland on Fresh Radio. When it came to school projects, if you were put in a group, was that your thing? Did you like working in a group, or would you prefer to do the assignment alone? Well, I guess it technically just depends on who's in your group, right? Well, when it comes to working, like in your real job, do you like group settings or just doing your own thing? Because there's a difference between generations, although I might be leaning a little Gen Z on this one. We'll get to that coming up right now. Jonas Brothers, Like It's Christmas on Fresh. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. Is there a difference between Gen Z, millennials, boomers when it comes to how they enjoy to do their work? And there is. Apparently, according to a survey, Gen Zs just love to do things on their own, which I kind of agree with. You know, if it's a collaborative effort, you know, it's a project that they want multiple opinions on. Sure, we love doing group work in that sense. If it's something I can do on my own, or if working with someone else is going to slow the process down, I would just rather do it on my own. 99% of the time, it's just easier to do it yourself. And that way, if something goes wrong, you only have one person to blame, yourself. But, you know, a lot of people do enjoy that collaborative work ethic. And I know it's weird for me to say I like doing things on my own. I mean, we have a great team here. We've got multiple shows. We support each other. We're good friends. It's a lot of fun. But at the same time, we also just kind of do our own thing. So I get it. But for a lot of the older generations, they want a more like group effort, group environment for their everyday tasks, which it just sounds like it's going to slow everyone down. But that's just me. It's Max Parker. Thank God it's Christmas on Fresh Radio. If you were on a flight and you paid for first class, business class, or the same thing, I don't know, luxury class, we'll call it, and someone was crying to you saying, can you please switch seats with my husband? He's in economy and I really want him to sit with me on this flight. Would you give up your seat? Apparently, this is actually like a TikTok hack that has been going around, and some people are saying, no, I will not switch seats. And that is the only answer. We will get to the story on the way. Right now, Alessia Cara's Make It to Christmas on Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. Wild story, and I can't even believe that people would have the nerve to ask this, but someone posted this on Reddit. It has since been deleted. Essentially, they were on a flight. It was going to be a long flight. They upgraded themselves to business class, first class, you know, like the fancy seating. Probably cost them thousands of dollars, but they did it. And they're getting settled in on their flight, and someone comes up to them and puts their bag down and says, hey, I'm sitting next to you. Would you be able to switch seats with my husband so I can sit with him? He's actually just sitting up in economy right now. And obviously the person that upgraded and paid thousands of dollars for it was like, no, why would I do that? Why don't you give up your first class ticket and, you know, downgrade, sit next to your husband in economy and give that person your first class seat? Well, I paid for first class. Well, so did I. Why would I give my seat up? Now, it turns out that this is apparently a hack on TikTok, how to get yourself upgraded. Now, a lot of the time, these people don't actually pay for the upgrade. Sometimes airlines are like, you got a free spot. We're going to bump you up. And then they just try and bamboozle the person next to that seat to get their other friend or husband, partner, whoever, to sit with them. Now, most of the time, this is not going to work, but it has worked in the past. One poster said that they saw like an elderly woman give in because this woman was crying because she wanted to sit next to her husband, and then this little old lady was in the seat, and so the old lady moved. What? Come on. If you want to fly fancy, you pay for it. You don't try and get someone to switch you seats. And if you are a really nice person and you're a people pleaser, please listen to this. If you pay the thousands of dollars to sit in first class, business class, fancy class, whatever you want to call it, and someone comes up to you and has a sob story why they need your seat, say no. That is your spot. Now, I'm all about, you know, generosity and kindness and all this, but in this situation, you paid for the upgrade. You don't need to go above and beyond for a stranger. They can easily go sit with their friend in economy and make someone else's day and bump them up to first class. I know I went on a rant, especially for someone that will probably never fly first class, but hey, you pay for it, you get it. You don't owe anyone anything. It's Lil St. Nick on Fresh. So we may not be getting a white Christmas, but Christmas is still pretty with all of the lights. And of course, your neighbors probably have some amazing displays, or maybe you are the Clark Griswold of your neighborhood. Well, we do have our interactive holiday display map online at 1031freshradio.ca, where you can kind of pinpoint some of the biggest displays that are happening in your community. So you can check it. Maybe there's a couple around your block and you can just go for a little walk, or maybe you're driving around and you want to see some great displays. We've got them all mapped out for you, and still time for you to get your display on the map. It's all at 1031freshradio.ca. Tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m., Santa and his elves are actually going to be rappelling from the Children's Hospital to provide some smiles for some of the kids that are there over the holidays. But coming up, speaking to one of our resident elves here, Jim Kelly from FM 96, who will be one of the elves rappelling. We'll get to what their goal is and what's really happening. That's on the way right now. It's Susie McNeil on Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. We've got Jim Kelly from FM 96 joining the show today. Jim, you got something pretty cool happening tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks for having me in, Tony. It's called the Jingle Bell Rappel at the London Children's Hospital. We did it for the first time in 2021. And what it is basically we have a line with Santa Claus himself and some of his elves. We strap him to some construction-grade ropes and we rappel him. Him and his elves rappel down the side of the Children's Hospital to give the kids who are stuck there over Christmas a bit of a thrill. They can't get to the mall and see Santa like some of us can. So we did it in 2021 specifically for the first time because COVID, so nobody could leave or do anything. But like seeing the looks on the kids' faces, and because I'm one of the elves, part-time, not gonna lie. So seeing the kids' faces was just unbelievable. It really warmed my heart. And we raised some money for the Children's Health Foundation too, so we're doing it again.
Well, and I think it's just amazing because, like you said, a lot of these kids can't make it to the mall, but a lot of these kids are not even going to get to see family over the holidays as well. So giving them that excitement, you know, to see Santa coming down and the elves. Now, are you good with heights?
I am. I've like been skydiving and I've rappelled off the building we're in now, which is 3 times as tall as the Children's Hospital. So it's only a few stories. It is still scary because you're just attached to a rope. It's not something I do professionally.
but for the kids.
For the kids, I will make that sacrifice. And yeah, it's all worth it just seeing the look on their face. It's so exciting because Santa's there for a site inspection.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's got some business to do, but he will wave and give some thumbs up through the windows too to the kids.
So the kids know that Santa is coming. So they'll
They've been hyped up for weeks. You know, the nurses are telling them that it's coming and their family knows it's coming. So yeah, we're very excited.
Now, not only are you going to be putting smiles on faces, but you're also raising some money as well for the Children's Hospital.
Yeah, the Children's Health Foundation does so many great things. One of the things I love the most is the programs they do for the kids to make them still feel like kids. There's music programs and different education things, art programs that they can do to have some fun, learn some skills, express themselves creatively, and just kind of make the time pass a little faster. So that's what the money's going towards. Our goal is $10,000. We're at $6,200 right now. I think we can get there.
I think you can. We'll just keep promoting it. So when do you go down? Tomorrow?
2 p.m. Tomorrow. Yeah.
All right. It's a good time.
Prime time, yeah. If you're driving by the area, give us a honk. Santa might wave.
Honking a wave.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck, Jim. I know you and Santa and the elves are going to do a fantastic job. But like I said, 2 p.m. tomorrow, if you're driving by the Children's Hospital, you may see that site yourself. But if not, you can actually support this cause. I'm going to share the link. There is a direct link for this rappel. So like they said, the goal is $10,000 as a community. I think we can help them out. They are going to be rappelling from a building. The least we can do is throw a couple dollars into the cause. So Jim Kelly from FM 96 tomorrow at 2 p.m. going down the side of the Children's Hospital with Santa and the elves. It's Tyler Shaw, Christmas all over again on 103.1 Fresh Radio. London's official Christmas station, 103.1 Fresh Radio. That is it for me, Toni Ross. Thank you so much for hanging out. I will be back in tomorrow morning starting at 10. Scott and Kat are going to take it on from here, and they are going to talk about, well, many things, but a conversation they're having. Most hated question at Christmas. It is definitely going to be a conversation to be had with Scott and Kat when they take over in just a few minutes. It's Elton John, Step Into Christmas on Fresh Radio.